Hello, afternoon. So it's the middle of December. Well, it's getting on towards the middle of December. So, oh, don't you dare go out. Oh, hello, there we go. That was a bit of a tremendous flame on that one for a second. Right, okay. Pyro here. Oh, hello. Good. So, I'm going to do a read for one of my astrology pals. Just returned to work. It's a lot of work that they're going back into, and I have said that I would do a reading for them. So that is what I'm planning on doing. So I'm going to use Dark Magick Oracle cards by Fiona Horn, and possibly we'll see what comes out, Shadow Work Oracle, because I think we're going to have to look a little bit deeper as to what's going on at the moment. So let me get myself organised. So we're going to just check which one of the pendulums want to use. Do you want to read these? Okay. Yes. Okay. There we go. So I'll leave the book there for a second. Oh, now that just would be a book. So, okay, let's just get. I just want to get a lot of saging going today. I just want to try and keep this energy quite positive for her. So, there we go. Let's just get that going. Right. There we go. Oops. As usual, don't burn the cards. Right, okay. I need to flick some of these around. These are from the last reading. Okay. So, we're going to just have a look, just in terms of work herself, what kind of information is going to come out that might give her some positive direction as to what to watch out for, if she needs to step up and speak out. And let's just see what goes on. Right, I'll put that one there for a second. It looks like we're going to use the Tiger's Eye pendant today for the reading. So, all nice and clean, all nice and clean. There we go. There we go. And just give it a little. Okay, right. So, let's see what the cards have to say. Which cards does she need to see? Oh, that's interesting. That isn't actually in that box. Right, okay, moving on. Had a nice trip out to see another friend this morning. Went through a place called Glossop, which is just on the edge of the peaks, just outside Manchester. Beautiful stone buildings. Went to a lovely cafe shop called Canela. So if you're watching the shorts, my shorts this morning, my coffee and cards was coming from there. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. We might be getting down to a very short reading today. Or, as I said, we'll see how this goes, and if necessary, we'll pull from the other deck. Changing energy over the next couple of weeks. You've got solstice coming up in just over a week. Obviously, we've got Christmas energy. So, hopefully, I'm pretty sure it's. Oh, hold on. Let me just check on that. Is that a no? No. Okay, just making sure. Right. So we've only got 2 cards to go today. Interesting, okay. So those are the cards we've got for the time being. So we've got Friends Forever, Grow Together and Individually. Nurture your diverse talents. Right, now, because it's only 2 cards, I am going to pull some from the shadow deck because I just feel I need to go a little bit deeper than just... Interesting that I pulled out the card. She'll understand this. That card was upside down in the deck. Actually, hold on, let's see. I'm just going to ask something actually. There's a couple of cards. Right. Right. What we're going to do is I'm just going to ask this one. Okay, just a quick clear. Right. Any cards from here? Are these 2 cards needed? Right. So. I've forgotten what I was saying, but these 2 cards, so we got trauma and we got control. Now, the pendulum's just indicated that out of that Shadow Oracle deck that I was going to pull from, these are the 2 cards that needed to be shown for this reading. So, as usual, I'm going to trust the pendulum. So we'll pull this together, I'll have a look and we'll see what all this comes out and says. But to me, it already makes some sense, especially on these 2. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find Friends Forever and Strength in the Dark Oracle book. We'll read out and see what numbers we've got. 7 and 10. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so Friends Forever. As you evolve your sense of self, it inevitably leads to changes with the people in your life, especially friends. It's rare to keep friendships from childhood through to adulthood. This is often only achieved with compromise, patience and compassion, and love, lots of unconditional love. When Friends Forever appears, it's time for you to remember your individuality in every relationship. If you're having a fight with a friend, this card indicates you will benefit from time apart. It indicates there's likely to be stagnancy in friendship. Time apart will allow your energies and connections to freshen. Pictured on the card, the friends are entwined but individual. The raven and the dove represent the lessons and freedom that comes from letting go of grudges and judgments and being willing to nurture peace. The flowers are a symbol of gifts of friendship. Friends Forever can be a sign that changes ahead for someone you're closest to platonically. Take a moment and consider the people closest to you. How do you feel when you're with them? Happy, uplifted, drained or sad, or neutral, even bored? All friendships are gifted to our lives to help us grow, nurture, whether this means by healing them or by honouring them, honouring what has been and letting them go. Right. Right. So that's the Friends Forever card. But sticking my neck out and going with what I feel. Obviously, we're talking about work. And I think what this card is indicating is where, however work was previously, I think you need to look at work in a very different light. And I think you need to look at it from your perspective only. With friends, we tend to make compromises, and we do it because we're afraid to let go. But I think with this, it's saying as well that it's a time where, yes, you can make peace with how work is going at the moment, but you don't have to compromise on how you are treated or what you need to do the job. And I think you need to remember that you're an individual, and you need to make sure that you are not pushed to burnout, especially just returning into the role, and to be able to speak up and get what you really need with staying in this role. For now. So, then we've got the strength card. So let's find the strength card and see what that says. Okay. So, strength, and the message on it is nurture your diverse talents. Now, Issy, you know you've got talents. You have a very, it's a bit like Liam Neeson in Taken, you've got a very specific set of skills. It says on here, Jill of all trades, master of none, but often better than a master of one. So, here's what the message in the book says before I go waffling on. What if you could master multiple things? In Renaissance times, a person was celebrated for having many talents or areas of knowledge. As a younger person, you may have been criticised or mocked for trying new things or never seeing things through. You may have been asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? As if there was a singular thing you must master. So, when strength appears, it's a time for you to celebrate and nurture your diverse talents and not to settle into a niche or routine. Consider and explore multiple things that excite and light a flame inside you. These interests may seem to oppose or contradict each other. For example, you may be drawn to science, but also to being a rock star. Strength also reminds you that your life's journey is one of progress, not perfection. If you give up the notion of everything has to be perfect, suddenly everything is. Be confident that many things you are drawn to all have lessons and usefulness for you at this time. Instead of focusing on whether you're good at something, try to focus on the good it's doing you, or not, as the case may be. If you draw strength when you're feeling trapped and bored, it's a sign for you to be open to new challenges, interests and accomplishments. Okay, right. So, I will read out the shadow work because I think this might be important. When leading and performing multiple skills and exploring multiple opportunities, remember to stay balanced and not get burnt out. Make an altar of balance to help anchor the guidance of this card and harness your energies to master your interests in a way that is appropriate, realistic and fulfilling. Okay? So, that's the message of these two, okay? So realistically, in terms of work, you don't have to be best mates with people. Not at work. You don't have to just fit in and go with everyone else. You can be an individual. And I still say, speak up and make sure that your requirements are covered. And also with the strength card, I think that's indicating that you need to have more belief in the skills that you've got and that they are transferable and that you have the possibilities to do the role that you really want to do or create for yourself. Now, the other cards that came out was control. Okay? And the message, by letting go of the illusion of control, we open ourselves to genuine freedom. So I think this is really indicating that at the moment, I would say that image is showing that's you at the moment. I'd say you're one of the puppets. And what you need to do is you need to flip it so that you are in control of the puppets, not the other way round. Okay? And I think this is also where it says your scars are proof of resilience and survival. You have been through a lot. You're still healing. You're not fully healed, and you know that. So I think the reason with this card as well coming out is it's not just saying that you're resilience and it's a sign of survival. I think it's also just giving you that prompt. Really do take into consideration your welfare in this position. You need to find some balance between the two. It can't be all in and nothing else. Because the problem's going to be is if you allow work to dominate, and where I understand from you that you feel that you just need to push through, I think you just need to take a step back for a moment, get a pad out and write out pros and cons. And do it also what you're being asked to do and what you feel comfortable doing. And this isn't about ifs and buts from the job. This is about what would be your ideal situation. They still have to take into consideration the fact that you were off for a procedure that needed to be done. And they cannot expect you to walk back in there and just pick up everything like that. They can't. You need to pace yourself. You need to get into control of the situation. And I will leave it there because that is what the cards are telling me to tell you. So hopefully, have a think over the weekend. come and have a chat with us next week when we do the astrology, because I do think it would be interesting for some of the group to have a look at your chart and give you some other direction or guidance, or possibly show you that Neptune and Saturn now moving forward, Uranus moving forward. This could be a chance for you to rebalance and get control. It doesn't have to be a traumatic situation. Here endeth the lesson, I think. Again, you know I come from a place of love. That is what I'm getting from the cards. And hopefully it gives you something to look at and try. Even just try, see what happens. Anyway, it's Friday. Everyone's finishing work. Yippee, enjoy your weekend. And if anyone's watching this and this reads for you, use the information and hopefully it will give you a different perspective to what's happening at the moment. Thanks a lot. Bye.